Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another Gaming News Weekly. It's been a week. It's been a week. Crazy things has happened. Xbox axing a whole lot of people. It is crazy. Bungie's hiring more people. That's fucking weird because they just fired a whole lot of people. Square Enix is laying people off and they want to diversify their portfolio. It's been a big week in gaming, so make sure that like button, subscribe if you haven't already. I got my Avion water with me, so you know I'm ready to talk. And we just gotta we just gotta kick it off with the Xbox Activision Blizzard news, bro, because that took the week by storm out of nowhere. Reports came out. They showed the memo from Phil. 2,000 employees, roughly, axed from Activision, from Blizzard, a couple people from like Xbox's own studios, but most of them bitches came from the Activision side. And I'm like, Xbox went in there and started cleaning fucking house. Even Blizzard's like president left. Even the Blizzard president left. Like I'm like, oh shit. What the fuck did Xbox just do? Right after Bobby got out of there, Microsoft went in there and start throwing motherfuckers to the wind, bro. I was like, what the hell is going on? And everybody knew this was going to happen because once they got all of Activision into Xbox, once they had that time to figure out who was doing what and whose job is needed and not needed, people are going to start getting axed. You know, the whole HR department for Activision Blizzard has to go because Microsoft has their own. So all those people have to get fired. So many like quality control people. You don't need too many of those teams. So those people got to get fired. There's a whole lot of like overlapping jobs that you kind of understand. Companies this big have their own versions of all of this. So those jobs got to get axed. I don't know how many just like ground level developers got axed because they don't really say in the 2,000 people that got axed. But not Bungie, but Blizzard's president did fucking walk out too. And people were joking, they like, this man really don't want to work for Microsoft because he worked for Microsoft. He left Microsoft to go work for Blizzard. And then Blizzard got bought by Microsoft. He left Microsoft again. It's like, damn. That's kind of sound like Bungie, don't it? You should probably go join Bungie. But yeah, he left. Nobody else of like greater import was left, but the sheer amount of people that got fired made a big ass news headline. And so many people was like, oh, this is because they spent all their money on acquisitions. And it's like Microsoft has made they've grown so far since announcing the acquisition. The 70 billion that they spent on Activision means nothing nowadays. Like it's another drop in a bucket for Microsoft. They've made so much money since announcing the acquisition. Post acquisition, they're the biggest company. They're bigger than Apple now. Microsoft has done so much growing, done so much gaining that these layoffs are probably just product of overlapping jobs. I don't think it's anything too drastic to them getting rid of people. But I mean that is all the people they're downsizing because every company's downsizing, especially after COVID, because everybody bought more people because everybody was working from home. So they start paying more people to do more jobs because time zones and stuff like that. But now everybody's back at work. And you see, like buddy, you don't need to be here. So after they go through the company, they comb through all the people and they throw the ones out that they don't need anymore. It is kind of tragic because nobody's really hiring because everybody's downsizing, everybody's laying people off, everybody's cutting their losses and getting rid of people. So it's kind of bad for the people that do get fired because the job market is shrinking. So since they already lost their job, there's no jobs that they could just like walk into. Nobody's just starting just opening doors for everybody to lose their job. They're kind of going home and sitting there like, damn, what the fuck do I do next? And it's kind of crazy. 2,000 people? 2,000 people? That's how big, like, you got to understand how big Activision was and is. And bring it all of that into Microsoft. And they can ask 2,000 people and it's like nobody's gone. That is craziness. But I mean, again, it could just be like PR teams and like marketing teams and stuff like that because Microsoft have their own versions of those. So when big companies fuse together, somebody's department has to get axed, and it's probably the department that got consumed that get axed. And damn, damn, that's a lot of fucking people though going out the door. While Blizzard's president left, we still don't fucking know. I know he posted on Twitter, apologizing to all the people that got fired. But like, why did he leave? Other than he not wanting to work for Microsoft, I don't know. I don't know. It could have just been he don't want to work for Microsoft and he just walked out the door like he did the first time. But it's a whole lot. It's a lot more going on that nobody's talking about right now. And the fact that Microsoft even asked Blizzard's next game says that somebody was running that whole fucking company wrong. Somebody was running a whole lot of things wrong, and they went in there and they just put an end to it. Because the fact that Blizzard's been working on that survival game for like 6 plus years, Microsoft buys them. They walk in there, looks at this game, looks at everybody working on it, and was like, we gotta fire somebody because this is this has to be hot garbage. We know what Blizzard's been in since I don't even know. Like, what was the last good thing Blizzard launched? What was the last good thing Blizzard made before they started just like fucking shit up? They fucked up Overwatch. Overwatch 2 came out completely horrible. They fucked up Diablo kind of, even though it sold pretty well. Come on now, who's still playing Diablo 4? I'm about to go back and look at the new season, but like Diablo 4 is a shell of what Diablo 3 was. It was good, Cool Breeze. Diablo 4 is a shell of what Diablo 3 was. And you can feel there's something missing from Diablo 4. Even though it looks amazing, character creators cool, the main story was great, combat even feels good. It's something there that is missing. That when I go play Diablo 3, it's just a better game. It's a better crafted game. It's a better flowing game. It's something wrong. It was something wrong there. And Microsoft probably felt that shit too. They went in there, they saw their new game, their survival game that they were making at Blizzard, and they looked at that shit and it was like, yeah, this is going in the trash. All the hard work and dedication that went into that game, whether people enjoyed it or not, went into the trash, bro. And people was like, why would they cancel a game in development that long? Like, just think about it. Microsoft loses nothing from throwing that game away. Microsoft loses nothing from throwing that game away. And everybody who worked on that game, who thought that, oh, our hard work is being squandered by big bad Microsoft, it's like, bro, the game wasn't good. And if it wasn't good, why would Microsoft let y'all drop that? How many people at Blizzard actually wanted to make that survival game? Because the games that Blizzard has been putting out, I don't think nobody at Blizzard actually wanted to make those. Because they all are bad. They all are bad. And it's like, so they canceled the survival game. What does Blizzard work on next? We don't know. Now Blizzard has a clean slate. The president is gone. Maybe somebody gets promoted. They get some new leadership going on, and they probably get to make some new fucking games. This could be a good thing for Blizzard. I don't know. Where's Mike going? We don't know. Because, I mean, he walked away. A lot of people got fired. The game got canceled. He probably walked away because his game got canceled. That could be the reason why he left. Because Microsoft walked in and like, this game looks like shit. It's going in the trash. It's another fucking cash grab, probably. We don't know. We don't even get to see the game. I wish I got to see it though. I wish we got to see what it would look like what a Blizzard survival game could be. Now we won't. Maybe it was going to be real fucking bad. It could have probably been good. Who knows? It could have blew up. It could have been another Power World thing. You just like drop that bitch and it just goes off. But we don't get that. Blizzard, you got to go make something else. Hopefully, they can get back to making Blizzard games because Diablo 4 is not a fucking Blizzard game, bro. You said maybe we'll see them bring a passion project. The game they've been wanting to make for years. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Because I mean, if they've been working on this survival game for 6 years, and the last two things they dropped before this survival game has been bad, not even just commercially. Because I mean, like, Overwatch 2 is making a lot of money. Even though people don't like the fucking game. It's making a lot of money. Diablo 4, I bought that bitch for $100. I bought it to play it early. I enjoyed the main story. And then I dropped the fuck out of the game with every next piece of content they add. I don't play it. So they've made a lot of money on Diablo 4. And they have a store. When the store is working and everything else is broken, you said maybe the timing wasn't right. It it could have just been the leadership involved. Like high key, it could have just been like Mike them being in charge. Like, no, we're not making no passion projects. Like, we're making money games. And a lot of companies are ran like that now. Like they're not making games because they enjoy it no more. They're making games that make money. And Microsoft don't need another game that makes money. They need games people want to play because that's how you get people to go to Game Pass. Game Pass is making the money. Now they just need games in there that people want to play. That's how people like they revived Elder Scrolls Online. Remember, Elder Scrolls Online was in a bad way, and then Microsoft bought ZeniMax Media, all of Bethesda, just bought them out, brought them in. Nobody talks about how great fucking Elder Scrolls Online became after Microsoft picked them up. Because now they're not making a game to make money no more. Now the ones working on the game are making a game they want to make that people want to play. And it's crazy. You said Persona 3 is getting revamped. The remake of Persona 3 looks so good. And the fact that Atlas is dropping that shit in Game Pass day one is just a testament to everything Phil has worked so hard to create at Xbox. That Atlas is dropping the remake of Persona 3 in Game Pass day one. And then they're dropping Metaphor later this year, which looks like it's gonna be a fire game too. But Persona 3, I do wanna play the remake of Persona 3 because I didn't play original Persona 3. And then like Persona 3, portable, like the one they put in Game Pass, like it was cool. But the remake is definitely gonna be better. We're playing Persona 5 Hellas. You say all they need to do is add the new Persona game to the store. I don't even know when the new Persona game is coming. Like Persona 6? I mean, probably after Metaphor. Persona has to get a sixth game. There's no way it doesn't. But Persona 3 gets a remake. I don't think they should remake Persona 4. You know what needs a multi-platform release? Is goddamn Shin Megami Tensei, bro. Like, why is that only on Nintendo? Like, we need some Shin Megami Tensei on Xbox, even on fucking PlayStation, on PC. They need to put more Shin Megami Tensei somewhere. I think Nocturne is on PC, like Shin Megami Tensei 3. I think that's the only multi-platform Shin Megami Tensei game. And Atlas makes those games. I don't know what the hell is going on, how many contracts they got, but we need to get some of those. You said you're pretty sure it's already released, but it's only in Japan. Wait, you're talking about the mobile game? Persona X? Like I'm talking about a mainline game. Yeah, like I've heard of Persona X, but it's like a gotcha game. Microsoft don't fuck with gotcha games. That's why we ain't got Genshin. That's why we ain't got Honkai Star Rail or whatever the fuck the other one that they're making. That's why Xbox doesn't have gotcha games on the platform because Microsoft and Xbox don't really fuck with the gotcha game like category. Those are money making games too. And they like, yeah, we don't even want the fucking 30% that we get, even if we did put it on the platform. I don't know. But yeah, Persona X is a gotcha game. It's not like a console game. You don't it's a mobile game. So yeah, it's not like mainline. The next Persona game, we don't know what the hell it's gonna be like because they're making Persona 3 over. They're making Metaphor, which Metaphor looks like their brand new thing. You said it looks good though. I mean, it looks like Persona 5. Like it looks exactly like Persona 5. Like Persona 5 looks amazing. But yeah, it has like they put some new characters in it. I think the timeline is like progressed a little bit. I think it's like 3 or 4 years after Persona 5 ends. Like they have like a whole story and everything to go with it. But it's a mobile gotcha game. So you gotta like open packs to get like legendary Persona people and it's one of those things. So that's kind of why it's not on Xbox. Probably why it's not on console at all. It might come to PlayStation because PlayStation allow those types of games. So Sony might get Persona X. I don't know if Nintendo's gonna. Does Nintendo have like gotcha games on the Switch? I don't know if they do because I don't remember seeing Genshin Impact on Switch. They might. You said they do? Oh, okay. They definitely gonna get Persona X then. It's just a matter of when Atlas is gonna port those games to the platforms that want them. Because I don't even think Persona X is on PC, is it? I don't think it is. I can't look it up because high key, my computer's just been crashing out for no reason. So like if this live stream just dies randomly out of nowhere, it's because my PC is just kind of crashing out. I don't know what's going on. I think it's Nvidia's fault because they software has been bugging as of late, and I swear there's an update or two that I'm supposed to get that I can't get because GeForce Experience is kind of bugging right now. That's just fucking up. But yeah, I don't know. You said it was supposed to drop on the Switch, but it didn't. You said the Switch has some outrageous games on it, bro. I did a video where like fucking what was it called, bro? The fucking hentai game is on Switch. Is literally on the Switch store. I saw that motherfucker on sale, and I'm like, what the fuck? Nintendo really let that on a platform, bro. You said it was actually announced. So Genshin was announced for Switch, and it just didn't show up. That's kind of wild. Like, yeah, something had to happen. It must have cost something in development. It was like, okay, this is kind of bugged out. Or it's probably some stuff Nintendo was like, yeah, bro, we don't want that in our game. And Genshin was like, okay, I guess we'll do something different. But yeah, Nintendo does have some crazy games on a platform, bro. And it's like, I understand, it's Japanese. Like, the Japanese console maker is going to have Japanese games on there. Why does Sony not do it? Is because Sony went westernized the fuck out their console. Breath of the Waifus. Hey, that'll actually be a real game, bro. We look that shit up on Steam. It might exist. It definitely might exist. Somebody probably made that. Got to trademark that name so you can sue them later because you know that shit's gonna pop off. Oh yeah, where were we going at, bro? You said do have some kind of down bad games though. I mean, yeah, but they be removing that. They've been removing the hell out of games off PlayStation. Like they removed some of their own games on PlayStation, like on accident. And like, oh, it's a glitch, it's a bug. No, Sony just removed shit. They love to remove games off their store. But they do allow people to publish games on their store. Not a lot of people. But they do have some cool publications. Xbox is strict as hell on their store. I know for sure Microsoft does not let a lot of shit on their store. But that's why a lot of ports don't come to Xbox. Is because the rules are so strict that they be like, okay, some people get to bypass that shit. Only some developers they get their way. But in terms of like freedom on the Xbox platform, hell no. Hell no, that's a Windows thing. Xbox, they're not letting it go. Not even Windows. I think it's just Steam. And Steam is like Linux based. But for Windows and Xbox, they be cooking. You said you'll love if Nintendo remove those perverted games off the eShop. But I mean, the Japanese people love that shit. Japanese people love that shit, bro. So it's like Nintendo stays rooted in their reality. And Nintendo is a perverted ass company, bro. You know Nintendo be doing some crazy shit, just like Sega. They've done some weird shit in their games, like even from the past. Nintendo's done some weird stuff. You said Japanese, dead ass confused me. I mean, yeah, because like publicly, a lot of like they look so like shy and modest and stuff, and then like you get into Japanese media and you like, holy fuck, or like the kind of shit that they read, the kind of shows that they put on, like you wouldn't expect it. And then you start just looking into it just a little bit. And you like, hold on, bro, Japan, you are wild. And it's kind of how like the rest of the world is like learning. I mean, like, I don't think it's contradicting. I just think it's more of public versus private. Like their private lives are usually private, and they like some weird shit in private. But in public, everybody's respectful, everybody's modest, everybody's they're not just blatantly outright doing random shit. And you look at the U.S., nigga. I'm talking about the Western side of media. Everybody put their fucking private shit in public, and that's kind of the wrong way to go about it. Because if everybody in Japan seems so nice and so grounded, so respectful, and then like you go to their house and they have whole rooms full of fucking hentai manga, and you're like, holy fuck, what the hell are you be doing on your off time? I mean, that's a gradual surprise. Like you could be like that, like, okay, you're into some crazy shit. But in America, you could walk down the street and you see people dressed in fur costumes with collars on, and you like, you're into some weird shit. You don't even know who they are. You would never know who they really are. You'll just know you're the weird guy in the costume, and that's like, come on now, bro. You could have kept that at home, but some people they don't keep that shit in their house. In Japan, they keep that shit in their house, and hey, respectfully so. They respect other people's privacy, and they also into some weird shit. And it shows. Like when Nintendo and Sega and them do shit, it shows. And then Sony went American. They went American, bro. And they cut all that shit out. They're like, fuck nah, nigga. Big titty anime, we don't do that shit no more. We got bitches with muscles that beat niggas. Goddamn Sony, bro. What happened to you? I used to have a PlayStation 2. That shit was not like that. But no, we gotta get back into the news, bro. Because Until Dawn, there's more news out there. So look, last Gaming News Weekly, we talked about Until Dawn and how Sony's making a movie. And Cool Breeze was like, why don't they just remaster the fucking game? Like that would have been a good game to remaster for PlayStation because a lot of people haven't played it. And Supermassive Games is a big ass deal now. And Sony kind of owns Until Dawn. Then it came out this week that Sony's remastering Until Dawn. And I'm like, holy fucking shit, bro. We definitely talked about that on Gaming News Weekly last week. And we were like, just remaster the fucking game. Sony, why are you making a movie? It's because they're remastering the fucking game. And it's getting a PC release. And it's like, holy shit. We don't know who's making the game though. So what Sony Studios making Until Dawn's remake, we don't know. It could be Supermassive. They could get them to come back real quick. Like, hey, can you remaster that? But I don't think they are because Supermassive makes multi-platform games now. And they have a whole lot of fans on a lot of platforms. I don't think they'd be like, okay, Sony, we'll come back to remake Until Dawn for you in PC. I don't know. They could. Yeah, they fucking listen, Cool Breeze, bro. They fucking listen. Because it's like, why make the movie if you're not gonna remake the game? And they're actually putting the game back out. Because that was a game I played and I enjoyed. Even though they hold the fuck out of me at the end, bro. I got hold at the end of that game. I do want to play it again. You say you totally forgot about Until Dawn? A lot of people did. That's why we were talking about it last Gaming News Weekly. Like, a lot of people haven't got to play Until Dawn. But Man of Medan and all of those, like, there's so many supermassive games that blew the fuck up. There's whole YouTube channels dedicated to playing these, and people enjoy watching them. So Until Dawn getting remade is a good move for Sony. Not the fucking movie. We don't need the movie, bro. The game is essentially a movie anyway. But the game being remade is a W for PlayStation. Another game that Sony's putting on PC this year, Horizon Forgotten West, bro. I don't know. I mean, I guess they kind of have to. They need the money, but like Horizon, the game didn't perform very well, and they blame it all on Elden Ring. Like, it's fine. The game came out broken. It looked bad. It played bad. It ran bad on PS5, and Elden Ring was a better game all around. They finally fixed it 4 months later, but then it was already forgotten. But now it's going to PC in March, and it might perform well, maybe, if they don't give a broken game to PC like they did with The Last of Us. If they don't pull a fucking Last of Us 1 and destroy the fucking port, they might get some people to play the game. You said next Beyond Two Souls. Beyond Two Souls, that was another fucking great PS3 game, bro. There was another great PS3 game. I played that shit my freshman year of college. That was the first time I ever played it. And that shit was fun. It was a different type of game. And I think that's why it was so good. Because playing as like the Ghost Boy and you playing as Ellen Page. Where's her Ellen Page no more? What the fuck is Ellen Page's new name? Because she's kind of a dude now. I don't know. I don't know. That's probably why. Because she's kind of a dude now. I mean, I guess they can do that. Just remake the game and then make Ellen Page a guy. It'll be a brand new game. Beyond Two Souls 2. The alternate reality. But yeah, I mean, a movie of that game would be cool too. It would be kind of weird though, because like the puzzles were played out like with like telekinesis, kind of. Because you're invisible, like Child Boy, like you're your invisible counterpart. How would they like portray that in a movie? I don't know. Because it was like she had power, but the whole time it was just like a ghost. It was just a ghost. But yeah, I think that would work. I don't know why. Like, Sony has so many dead IP, bro. Like, people talk about how all the IPs they want Xbox to bring back from the companies that they bought. Like, Sony has a deep ass bag. Like, you dig around in Sony's vault of all the old shit they have, and it's like, Sony, produce some of this shit. You have so many IP that are just laying dormant, laying dead. You can pick one of them bitches up and try to make something out of it. No, PlayStation like, yeah, we're gonna do something else because they brought back Ratchet and Clank. That's fine, but where the fuck is Jack and Dexter, bro? Where the fuck is Jack and Dexter? You brought back Ratchet. Ratchet and Clank, they did their thing the first time. The second time around, they didn't make no money. That's fine, bro. The PC port was fucking destroyed because they lied about the SSD thing. That's fine. Bring back Jack and Dexter, bro. Jack 1, 2, and 3? A collection? Come on now. You gonna get some buys, bro. I know it shouldn't be that hard. Sony has all of this in the bag. Why the fuck don't they use it? I don't know. There's so many things Sony got in the bag and they just do not use. It's just dead. And they have so many studios that could legit just make one of those. But those aren't money making games. Those ain't third person action games. You say you'll love to see the Last Guardian remade slash remastered also. Is there where the fuck is the new Sly Cooper? Facts, bro. Sony used to make so many games. They used to make stealth games, nigga. Like, I'm talking about like Splinter Cell type, like Spec Op games, bro. What the fuck happened to to SOCOM, bro? They used to make shooters. Sony used to make shooters, bro. Like Killzone was always kind of rough, but it's because they gave up on it too fast. They should have put more into Killzone and not just graphics. They should have put more gameplay in that shit. But you know, you say it was on Uni for its time. Yeah, just like Shadow of the Colossus. But they did remake that. Yeah, I got it. But yeah, they got so many games just in the bag, and they kind of left all those behind for third person action games. And what do they keep making? Third person action games. What do they want on their platform? Third person action games. They like all the IP that they have that they could be pushing out. All the old IPs they could be reviving. But you want to revive a game that's already modern. Like why the hell did they remake The Last of Us 3 times? The Last of Us 2 got 2 releases. Next thing you know, they're gonna remake they're gonna remaster Ghost of Tsushima. Why? You already sold that shit twice. Just to do a PC port. There's so many dead games they got. So many games they could bring back. Like what the fuck happened to Infamous, bro? They put out Infamous what, 3? I forget what the fuck it was called. Infamous Second Son, that's what it was. Yeah, they put out Infamous Second Son right at the beginning of the PS4 generation. And then that shit kind of died out. They put a DLC out, which was fucking Last Light. People loved that shit, and that shit's gone. Sony, what the fuck happened? We don't know what happened, but those things just went away. You said Twisted Metal should have been back. Yeah, Twisted Metal should have been back. They even got a whole TV show running right now, and it's getting a season 2. And Sony didn't think to capitalize on that by remaking a Twisted Metal, just one of them. They could have remade Twisted Metal Black. I played the fuck out of it on PS2. You said you love that game. You have to play the old ones. Twisted Metal was so good, bro. I used to play as Axel, the man that like lost half his body, so he just turned himself into like a car. He was just a buff man. Yeah, he was just a buff man, and his arms had wheels on them, and he'd drive around. He had like guns on his shoulders. Like that shit was just weird and fun, and it was a fucking demolition derby game. What happened? Sony used to be so like they used to be so diverse out here, bro. Everything went to shit with PS4. I can't say went to shit because Sony got up, bro. Talking about Sony went up with the PS4. They sold so many consoles. People started loving third person action games. But like once they started winning, I think they got scared of losing. And that's why they just tanked. They just tanked themselves because then they got pushed into this corner, cinematic third person action game corner, and they're stuck there. Because now anything else that they want to make to come out, they're scared that it won't sell. So they just drop it. They just cancel it. They just keep canceling game after game over there. And it's like all this time and money you're putting into this shit just to be scared to drop it because you don't want it to fail. And then you just go remake a game that you already know succeeded just for a little bit more money for no return at all. I know Sony fans got to be sick and tired of this shit. It's like high key. I know they have to be tired of it. That's why they're so pissed Power World didn't come to PlayStation. Because while Xbox is running around playing Power World, they over there playing Foam Stars. They over there playing fucking Foam Stars. While we got rip off Pokemon. That's what they call it. They call it rip off Pokemon. They got rip off Splatoon. And it's not even good. That is the sad reality of the PlayStation platform. You said, now in my opinion, the most unique games are coming from Nintendo and Xbox. Nintendo always has some unique shit, bro. Every console iteration that they have games specifically made for that shit. And I think that's what keeps Nintendo original and always around. Because like when they went from the fucking Wii to the Wii U to the Switch, Like the Switch has some games you could play like normal with a controller, but then you got shit like Arms. And Arms was a banger of a game. And that's a Switch game through and through. You play Arms, that shit was so good. But then they got their shooters. Splatoon is always gonna be a great shooter for Nintendo. They have their kart racers with fucking Mario Kart. Then they always got the fitness games. Them bitches always pop off. There's nothing on the market like those. Except Foam Stars. You know, Foam Stars is kind of like Splatoon. The shittier Square Enix version. But you know, it's kind of like Splatoon. Nobody asks for it. Nobody wants it. Nobody really wants to play it. But Sony and Square, they're trying to do something different. And speaking of Square Enix, they president just went on record and was saying that he doesn't want Square Enix to rely on Final Fantasy anymore. He like that Final Fantasy shit gotta stop. Like we gotta do some more stuff. We can't just do Final Fantasy and just hope we make some money on that shit. And I'm like, okay, that makes fucking sense. But then Yoshi P went on record and was like, I want to make the best action games in the world. And it's like, bro, you could do that and not make Final Fantasy no more. Like, why does he want to make Final Fantasy the best in the action genre? And the president of Square Enix is like, we need to make more than Final Fantasy. So Square Enix is in a fucking tussle. Because everybody like Yoshi P. Everybody respect him. Even though he literally reskinned the game as another game and called that shit Final Fantasy 16. but we're not gonna talk about that. This Foam Stars a Temu edition. No, let me stop. No, like everybody that played Foam Stars in what was it, July? They had like the open beta for Foam Stars. Everybody that played Foam Stars said Foam Stars was hot fucking garbage. And those are PlayStation niggas. Nobody else can play Foam Stars but PlayStation niggas. And they didn't like Foam Stars. They couldn't even act like they liked Foam Stars. They're like, this shit's bad. So for them to say this shit's bad, and it's only their game, nobody else can play it. I don't know. When is the official release of Foam Stars? Yeah, when the fuck does Foam Stars actually come out? Oh shit, it comes out in 2 weeks. February 6th is the official release of Foam Stars. Wait, it's going straight to PlayStation Plus? They not even trying to sell that hold on more. That motherfucker's going straight to PlayStation Plus now. Damn. That shit's going straight to PS Plus. They knew this game was not gonna bang. Hold on, I need to show y'all this. Cause this is Square Enix's website. Oh, what the hell am I doing? Look, Foam Stars. Coming to PS Plus monthly games, bro. You said you got another Breeze game recommendation? What do you mean? But yeah, Foam Stars going straight to PS Plus is kind of wild, bro. They really wanted this game to be their next big multiplayer thing, and they like, fuck, this shit not gonna hit. Straight to PS Plus. Straight to PS fucking Plus. That's drastic. That's actually kind of funny too. But yeah, that's just kind of rough. What the hell can Square Enix do? They sold off so many IP. All their diversity is gone. You said Split Second. I played the fuck out of Split Second when I was young. I played Split Second like a fucking demon. Especially after what you call it. You said the only thing PlayStation has over Xbox is their exclusives. See, I would see like for a lot of people that is true statement. And then it comes to me. And I don't like a single PlayStation exclusive game nowadays. I don't like a single PlayStation exclusive game nowadays. So I can't say they have better exclusives than Xbox. Because when I look at me playing Starfield, Gears 5, me playing everything Obsidian has made, when I look at those games and I'm like, I wouldn't play The Last of Us. That's not my type of game. I played God of War on PC, fucking hated it. Spent my hard-earned money on that shit. Did not like God of War. Threw that shit right on the back burner. I mean, Spider-Man is never going to be a bad game. So I can't say I don't like Spider-Man. Spider-Man is probably hella good. But I mean, I've played Spider-Man games since PlayStation 2. I know them bitches are good. But I mean, if Xbox made Prototype and they had Spider-Man over there, I would choose Prototype. Because I like Alex Mercer better than I like Peter Parker. The story's darker, more demonic. So like when it comes to their exclusive games, there's not many of them I would look at and like I want to play those games. Because the ones that I did want to play, I played them. And I realized I didn't fucking like it. But yeah, but a lot of people do like PlayStation exclusive games. They like God of War. They like Ghost of Tsushima. They like, I don't know, what else games do people like on there? They definitely didn't like Days Gone because Ben Studios would have made another game by now. They definitely didn't like that one. Horizon. I know a lot of people like Horizon Zero Dawn, but a lot of those people that like Horizon Zero Dawn hated Forbidden West. And I'm like that happens. Like so when it comes to PlayStation exclusive games, there's not many of them that I'd be like, I would choose those over an Xbox exclusive game. And I don't even play a lot of Xbox exclusive games. That's just me. The games on my wall, I would play those every day, all day, for years. PlayStation almost had KOTOR. KOTOR would be on my wall if it had a good display. I swear it would. It would be right where Xeno ass is. But then they canceled KOTOR. Damn, Sony, why you do us like that? Why would they cancel KOTOR? They were scared, bro. They were scared. They're like, fuck, that's just not going. It's not working how we want it to. You can't third person action game a fucking KOTOR. Because all the fans of KOTOR liked that it was a CRPG. We liked that it was a CRPG. And it was a good one. Yeah, saving throws and shit. You said funny thing you was gonna buy a PS5 first, then a Series S later down the line. And I'm glad you went with the other way around. You said you'll let us see Larry make a sequel to KOTOR. As long as it's not like Baldur's Gate 3, I would gladly see Larry make a fucking KOTOR sequel. They could definitely do some good with an addition to that game. Because I mean, Obsidian did a great job with KOTOR's name. I know Larian would do a phenomenal job with KOTOR's name. As long as it don't have dice. That whole niggas. Like, if it doesn't have the Baldur's Gate 3 dice, we're fine, bro. Like, we're gonna have a good old time. But it should not be Baldur's Gate 3 dice. No. Definitely not that combat system. I would take Divinity Original Sins 2 combat system. I would take that. It's great. I like it a lot. Baldur's Gate is good. It's good. It's a great game. Game of the year. It's definitely not. I wish there was a toggle like it was in Pillars of Eternity to change the combat. You said you was cooking on honor mode. You missed 10 attacks in a row. See, I would turn the game off. I would turn the game off because like I understand the the mindset behind like the D&D dice thing. We're like, oh, you can be strong, but you shouldn't be just capable all the time. There's some chance in there. There's some luck involved. I hate that shit. I'm a concrete ass nigga, bro. I stand 10. If I work hard for something, I want that shit. I don't wanna I don't wanna not get that shit because I you say you missed the right a dice roll and you did quit. I would. Because like there's no way. Like if you make yourself the peak version that you want to be, and the only thing holding you back is the roll of the dice, I'm not doing it, bro. I'm not doing it. Because how the fuck am I working so hard to be this good just for the dice to say you're not that good today? Fuck that shit, bro. That's my only gripe with fucking Baldur's Gate is that I know I can be better, but the dice says fuck no, and I'm like, come on now, bro. It's not even me. It's the dice. You say you'll copy PS5 when something grabs your attention. I mean, I don't think I would. You said it should be funny as hell though. I mean, sometimes, like if it doesn't completely ruin what I want to do in the game, then I'll be fine with it. But like if it's one of those things, bro, where I go in here and it's like, okay, you gotta roll a fucking 16 to get through this speech check, and I know for a fact I have proficiency on these dice. I got advantage. Everything's great, and then I roll the dice and I get a one and a three, and I'm like, what the fuck? I had everything going for me, and then the dice said, "Fuck nah, bro." And I have to go into this grueling battle because of it. God damn it, bro. Sometimes it's funny. Sometimes I'll be like, no, reload, do it again, and that's why save scumming became a thing. Like I wouldn't save scum in an RPG until I played Baldur's Gate 3, and then I realized I'm save scumming everything because I'm not about to be forced into some shit I don't want to do. But yeah, that's one of those things. But like, will PlayStation ever drop something that grabs my attention and be like, okay, I want to play that game? I mean, they actually did actually, because I wanted to play fucking Stellar Blade. When it was Project Eve, it was announced to come to Xbox. I was like, I'm playing that game because I played so many games like it on PC. I know that shit's gonna bang. Combat's gonna be smooth as hell. The story might even be hella good. And it was going to be translated. It was going to be perfect because most of the games I played are still in Chinese. I just have to read subtitles. But Stellar Blade looked fucking great. And then Sony bought that hoe and was like, "This is our game now," and they cooked the fuck out of me. And I still want to play Stellar Blade. It's not like I don't, but I'll probably just have to wait for it to come to PC. I don't think I would go run out and get a PS5 for it. Mostly because the console itself isn't that good. I wouldn't even say it's because of the games that they serve. It's just the console itself isn't that good. So it's like, what does that console offer me that I could actually want to interact with? And there's nothing. There's not a damn thing the PS5 can do that I'm like, I want that in a console. No. They don't even have a browser, bro. How the fuck you have a console, a legit micro PC running all these systems and you can't open a browser? Go look up SoundCloud real quick. Just play some music while you're cleaning your gaming room? Nothing? No? What the fuck? That's kind of crazy. There's no goddamn way. You know, I went to fucking pirated movie websites on my Xbox to just watch random movies, just chilling. I know I could download an app. I could do it on my PC. It's safer to do on an Xbox. It's safer to do on an Xbox than it is my PC because they might hit me with some ransomware or some shit. You can't do that with an Xbox. It ain't got that many systems, and security is kind of firm on an Xbox, bro. You try to hack me, oh, you're getting cooked, buddy. But yeah, it's easier to do on an Xbox, and that's why I like Xbox. And Quick Resume is a bang up feature, bro. Except when I'm playing Power World, and that shit makes me starve. I've starved in Power World a couple times because I had that shit in Quick Resume, and I did not notice that it was still running like it usually is. That shit cooked the hell out of me, and I learned my lesson. I was like, okay, no more Quick Resume in Power World because your ass is gonna starve to death. And we got raided. My Pokemon's little, they won though. My Power World little power plays, they work out for me. You said generally made you mad. I mean, it does have a browser though. Like I know you've seen those videos of like people that like send themselves a message of a video and it opens a browser in the background of the PS5, and then they could go use the browser. But you gotta like send yourself a link to open the browser on the console, like from your phone. And I'm like, why did they hide the browser from their fan base? Why did they hide the browser from their fan base? They did that on purpose. Nobody knows why PlayStation did it on purpose. They did that shit on purpose. And there's no reason why they should have. You want people to play your games. You want people to buy your console. But then they police the fuck out of what you can do on the console. I know Microsoft does the same shit, but at least you could go on the browser. You could go do anything you want on that fucking browser. Just don't bring that shit to the platform. That's all they ask. So I know there was a whole big ass deal about somebody getting banned for like recording the sex scenes in Baldur's Gate 3. And people was like, oh, they should be able to record sex scenes. Like, the game is on the platform. And it's like, but why the fuck are you recording it? To share it to Xbox Network, bro. It doesn't make sense. Why the hell would you record those just to share it to Xbox Network? You could definitely just look them bitches up on your phone or some shit. Why did you have to record the bitches on Xbox? It didn't make sense to me. But for somebody who wanted to do that, why the fuck don't you have a PC? And I don't know. There's just some weird ass niggas out here that do some weird shit on console. But like, really, nigga? You really wanted to record the sex scenes that bad? You should have just downloaded OBS. Download OBS and just record that shit. Keep it to yourself. Why the hell would you upload it on Xbox Network? And it's like, oh, it was automatic. It's not his fault. You should have fucking thought about that, nigga. Like, what are you saying? This is a gaming console, bro. People can see your profile all the time unless you have that shit extra private. People can literally go look up all your captures. They can just click on your profile and see everything you captured. It gets shared to the network. Of course you're going to get your ass fucking banned. And people be like, ah, it's Xbox's fault. Come on now, bro. But yeah, back to gaming news. We be getting sidetracked over here. Back to the gaming news though. Bungie. We got to get to Bungie ass because PlayStation and Bungie have been doing some crazy shit. PlayStation has been firing a lot of people. Bungie themselves has dropped off like 100 some employees. But the weird thing about it is Bungie hired 200 more employees after they fired all those people that they did in October. So from October to November, Bungie had to lay off a lot of people. And yeah, we've been talking about layoffs a lot because this week has been full of layoffs. But Bungie hired 200 more people after they laid off so many people. And a lot of people are theorizing like they fired a lot of senior members because they made so much money. And then they hired a lot of entry level people just to do the work. And I'm like, I mean, that's smart business. I'm not even going to act like it's not. But that's a crazy ass thing to do. Because you could pay somebody else to do something cheaper. They fired the senior members. Or the OGs making the most money. They fired them. So they can hire new people. That they can pay less to do the work. And I'm like, that is crazy scheme, bro. That's a crazy ass scheme. And that's why their numbers went up after they just fired all those people. Because most companies, they have to cut numbers. They're not trying to rebuild the numbers that they cut. Not that fast anyway. Bungie, on the other hand, they doubled the number of people they paid to come in that they fired. And that's a weird ass turn of events. When you lay people off, it's because like, oh, you don't need them no more. Usually. Like the demand isn't that high that you need that many employees. But Bungie has like 15,000 employees. No, 1,500 employees. My bad. I'll be butchering something. But yeah, they got 1,500 employees. They fired 100. And then they hired 200. And it's like, holy shit, Bungie, what the fuck? It don't make sense. It don't make sense until you start thinking that. Look at the people that they fired. And it was senior members, OGs that been there a while. And you're like, okay. So all the people they were paying a lot that they didn't need no more. They're like, okay, we just replace you with somebody cheaper. They cut them, cut their salaries. Like, okay, we don't have to pay them no more. And you could pay two people with what you were paying one person. That's what they did. So they legit doubled the people that they fired because they could legit split those salaries in half and pay two new entry level people exactly what they were paying one senior member, and still probably get the same amount of work done. And I'm like, damn, bro, that's the sad reality of work. If you could pay somebody to do it cheaper, why would you be paying them to do more? Especially if it's not leadership, because it's kind of hard to replace a leader. Even though leaders get paid a lot, like you would go and fire a leader, but like a lot of people gonna be like, who the fuck knows what the fuck to do in this company to even get more people to do work? That's why leadership is kind of hard to replace. But like basic ground developers, you make 100,000 a year, fire their ass. Get two people to pay them 50,000 a year. That's kind of how people think it went down over there at Bungie and PlayStation. And I'm like, it kind of sounds like it when you hear they hired 200 more people. You said 2024 starting off like this, and gaming makes you wonder what's next. What's next? I don't know. AI takes over gaming. That's exactly what happens next. Because that's what they're saying Power World's doing. Those goddamn AI. And it's so weird that Power World, I think I said this in my video. People are saying that Power World is so low effort. It's so unoriginal. It's so fabricated. And I'm like, then how the fuck did they get 8 million people to buy the game in a day? Like, just like people say it's the most uncreative shit ever released. There's developers online talking like, oh, this shit is clearly AI. There's like no human touch to this game at all. And people rather play this than your human touch game. It is crazy out here. It was an ex fucking Nintendo president that was like, this is a blatant ripoff of Pokemon. But more people are playing this than fucking Pokemon, bro. What are you saying? This is so crazy when people say that about Power World. It's like, y'all don't understand that people play things because they're fun. That's what gaming is about. It's not about agendas. It's not about politics. It's not about getting a fucking message across. We're not trying to learn a moral of this story. No. People play games for fun. It's escapism fun. They just want to go into a reality and do some fun shit. And I think a lot of people in gaming forgot that because they start making a lot of money doing it. Remember back in the day, gaming wasn't that big. So people weren't making a lot of money in gaming. But now since the gaming division of the world's entertainment has started to get bigger than movie budgets, they're starting to make a lot more money than big movie studios are. I think they started to change the way they try to view gaming and like the gamer in general. So when Power World came out and it blew the fuck up, it appealed to actual gamers. And they're mad at that. They're pissed at that. And it's like y'all are showing exactly what y'all think gamers are by saying like, "Oh, like if you support this unoriginal like," and it's like, "What the fuck did you think Nathan Drake was? What the fuck do you think Laura Croft was? They were all just rip-offs of Indiana Jones. We knew that." And they still blew the fuck up. People still enjoyed those fucking games. Fucking Mario and Sonic and shit. You know how many rip-offs of them exist? And people want to talk like, oh, like Power Word is a bad thing. No, it's not, bro. How many rip-offs of Assassin's Creed are there? And people love those things. Ghost of Tsushima's out there. There's plenty of other just random ass platforming games. Everything's a version of an RPG. There's so many different versions of that. When people look at games like Greedfall, and they're like, oh, they're just taking inspiration from BioWare. That's exactly what the fuck we want. When you're a fan of something, you want more of that shit. You said it's silly how people be clowning the graphics, even though it's not fully baked. And the game looks great. Of course, it gets washed out sometimes. Yeah, because it's a early access title. This is a game in the fucking oven. And 8 million people bought that fucking like an uncooked bagel, bro. It's literally bread. That's exactly what Power World is. Power World is like a phenomenal ass sourdough bread, bro. And everybody bought the fucking dough. Why? Because they gonna let that motherfucker rise. They gonna let that motherfucker bake, and they know it's gonna be some of the best bread they ever eaten in their life. And motherfuckers out here selling white bread by the fucking slice loaf. And they're like, why ain't y'all buying our bread? Like, bitch, this sourdough bread gonna be a fucking banger. Yes, we're gonna sit here. We're gonna rise this fucking dough. We're gonna pop this hoe in the oven at 375 for fucking 40 minutes. And we're gonna let this motherfucker hit, bro. Yeah, just like Grounded. It's so crazy how people treat these like, come on now, because these developers went out there and made something they wanted to make, and it got success, and the developers out here on the fucking machinery line, they running around just doing whatever the fuck they're told. They're not being creative. They have creative directors for that shit. Like, okay, Neil Druckmann, what do you want us to do with this fucking game we created? And he just walks in there and be like, kill everybody's favorite character and break everybody's other favorite character. And they're like, that's a great idea, Neil. Who the fuck in your fan base wanted that to happen? Who the fuck wanted to see their favorite character get beaten after getting his knees blown out? Nobody. Everybody hated that. And Neil Druckmann was like, yeah, this is the peak creativity. How many ground level developers like The Last of Us 1? And they're building The Last of Us 2. They're animating the moment Joel gets his ass beat on. And they're like, oh my gosh, bro. We really got to do this today. Yep, it's your job. Damn. Let me go ahead and animate them knees getting shot the fuck out from under him. He's groveling on the floor. And those are fans of the games that they create. What do you do at that point? You're a fan of a game that you've been playing a long time. You get to be a part of it, and then you see the game getting destroyed right in front of you. Because the creative director said, I want this. And it's like, bro, we could do so much more. You said motherfuckers still wonder why people dislike Abby. There's so many articles that think that, oh, people hate Abby because she's a girl. If Abby was a dude that blew Joel's fucking knees off and beat his ass with a club, people would still hate that nigga. What do you mean? If Abby was a dude that beat the fucking shit out of Ellie and made her lose her fingers, people would hate that nigga too. Like, what are you talking about? People want The Last of Us 2 to be this controversial ass game. That was like, oh, if you have strong women in your games, men are gonna hate it. No, niggas like Joel. Joel was a dad to Ellie. He went through the shits. You said niggas hate him even more. Yes. People would hate him even more if he was a dude. But they made a girl do it. So people would hate her less. But if a dude did that to Joel, that man would be dead. That man wouldn't be living. That's why people don't like that. Because not only is Joel battered, broken, and dead, by the end of the game, Ellie is battered, broken, and alone. They literally ruined the two characters people enjoyed the most in that universe. All for what? To say that, oh, humans are the problem. It's not even about the cordyceps virus. It's not even about the clickers. It's about the humans. Really, nigga? That is crazy. And so many fans of The Last of Us, they look at The Last of Us 2 and they like, why would Joel even act like that? Because the whole Last of Us 1, Joel taught every player that played it to not just go around trusting motherfuckers in the apocalypse. Joel taught their own fans, bro. They had Joel teach all their fans how they should treat people in the apocalypse. And then you have to sit here with a PS4 controller in your hand, now a PS5 controller in your hand, and you have to watch Joel do everything he told you not to do in the apocalypse, and it leads to him being shot in the knees and beaten with a club in front of his own adopted daughter Ellie. And you're just supposed to be all right with that shit. Come on now, Sony. Come on now, Neil. Think about it. Think about it. You really expected people to like that shit. And then they supposed to like it again for $70 more. You said select people cause the world to end. Message of the story. It's humanity's fault. It's humanity's fault. Surprise Pikachu. Oh no, confused Pikachu face. Yeah, this is like what? What are you saying? I'm so shocked. That's exactly what happened, bro. Like what was Joel and Ellie getting destroyed in their own franchise really doing for the franchise? Because that's exactly what they wanted to do with like Master Chief in Halo 5. Like Guardians was supposed to be the end of Chief in the beginning of Spartan Lock in the story of Halo. And guess what? 343 was like, "Oh fuck, nobody really likes Spartan Lock. We really can't get rid of Chief." So what the fuck they do? They bring back Chief. Bigger, badder, stronger than ever. In an open world setting. Doing the most Spartan shit possible. Being a lore accurate Spartan once again. And that's kind of what you do with an iconic character. Now, what the fuck does The Last of Us Part 3 do? We don't know. Because they kind of ruined themselves with The Last of Us Part 2. And I know Naughty Dog knows that. Because Ellie really can't do shit no more. She's all kinds of fucked up. And she's alone. Lost her whole family on some bullshit that they wrote. And it's like, yikes, bro. I hate to be a creative developer on that team because I'm like, I don't want to create this shit no more. Yeah, but the fact that Naughty Dog has been coming at Power World, a lot of Sony developers been coming at Power World. It shows that they don't get the creative freedom that they see other developers get, and they get angered by it. Cause like, why are you making all these creative choices in your games? You able to do all these things with the free will of your development team? Why is your president defending you when you do something bad? And it's like because y'all know Sony doesn't give a give a fuck about the development team. Like Sony still hasn't released a statement. You said the new mode in The Last of Us 2 is a gift and a curse. Oh, the little roguelike mode? I haven't seen nobody play it or even talk about playing it. Except like the critics that gave it another 10 out of 10. Like, oh, this is an amazing remaster, even though they literally didn't change a single fucking thing. They literally put the fucking PlayStation 4 code on a PS5 disc and sold it for 70. That's still a 10 out of 10, but yeah, I haven't seen anybody actually play the new roguelike mode on The Last of Us. Maybe because they're all still mad that Factions got canceled after all these years of them saying like, "Oh, Factions is gonna come. It's gonna be this next big thing from Naughty Dog," and they axed it, and their fans just have to sit there and be like, "Okay, I guess I'll go pay $70 for a game I didn't like just to pay a new fucking mode." Why don't the PS4 version of that game have that mode? Because they gave it to God of War. God of War Ragnarok got they motherfucking Valhalla mode. Why the fuck didn't The Last of Us get that same update? They really sold that bitch for 70. That is the crazy greedy shit that you look at and be like, okay, you said it's basically factions minus online features. That makes sense. That's exactly what people wanted from the beginning. I mean, they wanted online features, but they wanted just factions again. They wanted just multiplayer bow and arrow shooting combat. That's all they wanted. That's what The Last of Us 1 had. They could have just did that again for The Last of Us 2. But no. They don't get the creative freedom. They like make this shit massive. We need an online mass multiplayer game full of live services. Nobody asked for that shit. Not a single fan asked for that shit. But when they announced it, they're like, okay, give us that because you failed to give us what you offered the first time. And then they failed to give you what they offered you the second time. It's kind of hard to be a fan of a company that can do that shit to you. And now what they got to look forward to. Final Fantasy, which Square Enix is want to not make more Final Fantasy games. They're like, can we make something different finally? The president's like, we definitely need to make some more shit. We gotta stop this Final Fantasy shit. So what the fuck does Sony do when Square Enix stop making Final Fantasy games? They gotta hope and pray somebody else makes a Final Fantasy clone because they definitely gonna fucking need it. But yeah, the scrutiny of Power World is outrageous. Nintendo did take the mod down, which was crazy because everybody was like, Nintendo, you should sue this company for making Power World. They would have sued them if they really hated Power World. And I know that the ex Nintendo executives that talk shit about Power World, I know they know that too. They're like, Nintendo would have took that shit down already if they really didn't like Power World. They're probably looking at Game Freak like, hey, Game Freak, do y'all want to upgrade the what y'all been fucking producing for me? Because Nintendo has amazing development studios. Like Monolith Soft and shit. They make peak fucking games. There's no way Game Freak could not make something like Power World. And it works. I know Nintendo isn't holding them back. I think Game Freak is holding themselves back. So if the next Game Freak game comes out, the next one, and is a fucking banger, you said look up the Gamer 2323. All right, I gotta go on the internet. Hopefully, it doesn't crash my PC again. Sometimes it does. Oh yeah, people crying about fucking Microsoft and physical games. Oh my gosh, bro. Like 90% of Microsoft's fan base right now is digital gamers. Yeah, I'm going on YouTube. I'm about to look it up. You said the gamer 2323. I swear I've never heard of none of these guys. Let's go figure out what the he said it's fire. So that should I watch the should I watch the first one? Hold on, I need to put this on the stream. What the fuck am I doing? My bad. Hold on. So should I watch the first one, the 12 days ago, or should I watch the second one? That's 6 minutes. You said the one that says fumbled the bag? Hmm. Remastered. You said go up. Okay, hold on. Oh, this one 5 days ago. Okay, I didn't see that shit. All right, how was it showing up on the screen? Hold on, my audio is all kind of fucking up. My bad. Where my headset at? That'll make this easy.
So here I am again.
My OG headset from when I first started YouTubing.
Naughty Dog, or at least that's what some people like to say if you just give a critique about this person or this entity, whatever. Yeah, Naughty Dog, you suckers definitely dropped the ball. You fumbled the bag, you missed out on the bag, whatever you want to call of this junk, that's what you suckers did. And it's just so unfortunate, it's so painful to see because it's literally right there on a silver goddamn platter, and you suckers fumbled. Like, you suckers fumbled the bag. Like, I really don't know how else to put it. I don't know how I can articulate these thoughts any better than saying you fumbled the bag.
But how did they fumble it?
This no return mode is actually very good. It's fun. It gives the game replayability. It's challenging. It's all gameplay based to where Last of Us 2 shines. You can say whatever you want about Last of Us 2 as a game and the story. The gameplay cannot be denied. And the thing that gets me the most about this junk, I'm sorry. I know Suggs is tired of hearing about this junk at this point, but I have to bring this junk up. The thing that gets me the most about no return mode is how much of a factions feel it has about it. The inspiration of factions is just it's just flowing all throughout this mode. You spawn on one side of the map, the enemies spawn on the other. The maps themselves taken from the game, and just the layouts of these maps. Like, while you're playing that, you're like, okay, I can see this map being actually pretty good in like a multiplayer form of Last of Us. The modes they have it in this damn thing, from assault to even a mode literally stripped right from Factions 1. The freaking what's it that a junk called capture, to where you have to literally go into an enemy base and get a safe. That is literally interrogation stripped right from Factions 1 into this mode. And it's just like,
that's fucked up.
Like, it's almost like while I'm playing this junk, I feel like I'm being spit right in my face, because it's like, no, we can't give you a Factions, but hey, we could give you a vanilla version of.
You said Bully needs a remaster.
This is a faction.
Rockstar's best game. That shit is dead. Bully, bro. Bully was supposed to get a Bully 2, and Rockstar said no.
In my face while I'm enjoying this mode. You have character and weapon skins in this mode. You can upgrade your guns and skills and perks as you progress throughout the mode to get better.
Like, it's literally factions.
And
with no multiplayer. They really did that to their fans.
The comments, some people on my channel are so tired of hearing about Last of Us. Last of Us 2 this, Last of Us 2 that, the remaster. I get it, bro. I would not even be talking about this game any longer if it wasn't for this mode. Trust me, I get it. I know a lot of people are so tired of hearing about this game. I am too, to be honest. But because this mode is now out, it's so sad to play this mode. At least for me, I'm playing this mode the whole time saying, like, man, imagine Factions with, like, you know, the stuff that they're doing in this mode. Or, man, imagine if this mode had co-op. That is literally what you're thinking to yourself the entire time you're playing this freaking mode.
That's fucked up.
Factions with this. That's why I have said this before. I will say it again. Naughty Dog freaking shot themselves in the cheeks by trying to make Factions 2 a live service game. I don't know what their vision was for this junk, but they were clearly trying to monetize this game the best way they could and was trying to turn this thing into a monthly thing with probably a battle pass and a season pass and charge you for this, for that, trying to get as much money as possible with this game.
That's
Not
PlayStation's call, bro.
I swear, I've said this like 10 times over the past like 3 years. Not every freaking multiplayer game has to be built around live service.
Hey,
Fortnite and Apex and PUBG completely ruined the game for a lot of these
no, they
games
didn't.
because they've seen how successful a live service game can be, and now everybody.
See, they didn't ruin anything. All they did was show that our fans like our game. It's good. It's fun to play. Those games are replayable. They're made to be replayed. They're battle royale games. What killed it is they tried to turn every other type of game into a live service game. Because live service games already existed. What the fuck do you call World of Warcraft? What the fuck do you call any MMORPG? Those are live service games, technically. What the fuck do you call Dota? What the fuck do you call what do you call it? League of Legends. Those are live service games, technically. But they all did their shit a different way. But then you wanted everybody else to make live service games. They wanted to make their type of genre game into a game they can monetize repeatedly. That's not PUBG's and Apex's and fucking Fortnite's fault. That genre of game is made to be monetized. It's a game that you literally go in there, you don't keep anything. You go in there, you grab some shit, you live or die, and you repeat. But in games like Call of Duty, how the fuck are you trying to turn it into a live service game? It was already a good multiplayer game. Call of Duty doesn't need to live forever. They come out every fucking year. People was alright with that. It was just they saw the money in live service games. And they think like, oh, it's so low effort to make a live service game. Let's just turn our game into a live service game. And that's the fucking problem. Because live service games aren't low effort. Because once they got into that shit, I know Factions probably got into that shit too. They went into there and they're like, okay, we can make content for this game. But how are we going to make more content for this fucking game? Halo's fallen into the same fucking hole. That's why they're canceling seasons. Because they realize Halo multiplayer isn't built for live service. It's built to be a multiplayer game that you have fun in. That you unlock things in. That you progress in. You said 2K has a battle pass and it's horrendous. I dropped 2K in 2K15, bro. Once they start offering, once they start making it mandatory to buy VC, I dropped 2K. Because there's no alternative. VC runs 2K now. There was no alternative to leveling up. You have to get VC. And I dropped 2K. I ain't been on 2K ever since 2K15. Because they ruined basketball. They legit ruined basketball. Well, as a game. But yeah, to say they've ruined their own game by trying to monetize the fuck out of it. They monetize in basketball. Basketball used to be a skill-based game. Now it's a pay-to-win game. Like, how the fuck did y'all do that? Now all of a sudden you have to pay $100 fucking to get a playable character in a basketball game? I remember playing 2K back in the day when I was young. You would start at 36 overall. 200 now. That is fucking crazy. See, I've been out of the 2K loop a long time. $200 for a playable character in a fucking game is crazy. But yeah, I remember starting at a 36 overall in 2K11. You gotta go to the combine, to the draft. You gotta do all this fucking summer league gameplay just to see if you get fucking drafted. That means your attributes are the last thing you're thinking about. You're thinking about how can I showcase my skills at level 36 that I can beat a level 84 John Wall in the draft to be number one. That's what you were doing, trying to beat fucking DeMarcus Cousins in the draft. You have to outplay these niggas. It wasn't about money. It was about your skill set. Yeah, you don't have no attributes, but you just got to make smart decisions with the basketball. And you do that. And you get drafted number one overall to the fucking Wizards instead of John Wall. And you beat your fucking chest. You're like, I'm a real ass hooper out here, bro. Now, what are you doing? Paying $100, $200, level up your character real quick, go in there, drop 100 on the nigga. Now you're not even playing basketball no more, bro. Niggas shooting from half court, banging that shit. I mean, there's nothing wrong with it. You say you can't even make shots without greening, and that's another thing, bro. 2K used to be the RPG of basketball. That's why people chose it over NBA Live. That's why I chose it over NBA Live. Because everything was so RPG based. How you leveled up, how you practiced, how you went into games, how you improved on your game. You made your character, bro. Now you gotta be like a character to be good. Gotta be like LeBron James. You gotta be like Kobe Bryant. You gotta be like Michael Jordan. Nigga, I used to go in there looking at that skill tree list. Everything I wanted, everything I didn't want to make the character I wanted. And everything was stat based. So if I had a 25 3-pointer, 1 of 4 perfect releases is going in. Why? Because that's 25%. So I can shoot 1 of 4 of these bitches. One of them modes is going in. And it gets better as you go in. So like if you have a 99 3-pointer, 99% of the time you're banging that shit. Unless the defense is on your ass. That's how the stat-based systems worked. But now you have to perfect release every shot or it's not going in. What are the stats on you not perfect releasing? Like, what does it cut down to? Like 40%, 30%? They don't tell you in the game no more. And that's probably why people buy VC, they level up. They gotta go by build. It is crazy. And they try to slap reality over a pay-to-win game. That's kind of what it sounds like. Because I remember some bullshit that I seen. I forget who put it up. It was a person talking about 2K like a year or two ago, where they was like, "Oh, they're trying to make people have stats of like real NBA players." You said when realism gets in the way. Yeah, but I don't even think it's realism. Cause it's like, you know how you in the NBA. Like you see Stephen Curry right now. He's one of the greatest shooters to ever live. And that nigga shoots 38% from the field for his like career. Like 38%. They want to put 38% in the fucking game for you. So they force you to miss shots that you should be making. Just so your percentage can be 38%. Because that's a good shooter in real life. When in-game factors don't make you miss. The mechanics in the game make you miss. Because if anybody in the league could hit 100% of their shots, they would fucking do it. But there's factors in the game that make them miss. 2K used to have those factors. You'll go into a game and shoot 100% because you're that fucking good. You have a mismatch on you. There's no way you're missing. Now all of a sudden, you just missing shots wide open because the game says, oh, you can't shoot higher than 40% from the field. Because that's not realistic. Get the fuck out of here, 2K. You say in the park people already shoot like that? Yeah, and it's crazy. And 2K probably forced niggas to miss. Just because they want your stats to look more realistic in a video game. They want you to shoot 38% for your career because, oh, Stephen Curry's the greatest shooter in real life. And he only shoots 35%. You shouldn't be shooting that much better than him. And it's a game, bro. It's a game. That's like playing Elden Ring and saying like, oh, the final boss is a god. You shouldn't be stronger than him. So we're not gonna let you do more than fucking 30 damage a hit. Really, nigga? You said the shooting timing is different in my career. Yeah, it like because the park or the city or whatever the fuck it's called now, like the latency in 2K servers has been trashed in 2K14. We all know that. The latency in their servers are hot garbage. So from when you press the button on your controller to when their server tell your player to do an action is delayed by a lot. So you have to kind of learn that delay, and that delay doesn't exist outside of online. So when you're playing my career, you have no delay essentially. So when you press a button, it goes in, especially if you have a real good controller. But online, their delay is infinite. You go online and the delay is crazy. So you have to like try to get your muscle memory to remember the delay of online gaming. So then you can perform online like the delay doesn't exist. And some of the best 2K players online, they probably do that. They probably mastered the delay so much that now they know how long they have to press down the shoot button. They know how long they got to press down the analog stick to do a dribble move because they've been practicing it so long it became muscle memory. But yeah, but then you go online for the first time and you realize like why can't I shoot? You say NBA shootout, NBA Jam, NBA Live days were good times, less stress. And then motherfuckers using Zens, bro. They're banning Zens on PlayStation finally. I saw an article about that. You said because ain't no way. I mean, there is a way. I used to be good at 2K. I used to be good at Madden. I used to play the fuck out of sports games. And people would be wondering, like, how the fuck is this nigga that good? Because like once you master the systems of the game, everything is easier. All you gotta do is learn to exploit the systems of the game, and everything else is easy. Because everybody that don't know how to exploit the system, they just play like a normal person. They kind of play like the CPU. But yeah, they're banning Zens on PlayStation. I think Xbox was already doing that when they banned all those third-party controllers and shit. I think they were getting into banning like the cheat Zens and stuff as well. But I don't know if Zens themselves don't work on Xbox. But I know for sure PlayStation is banning Zens specifically. They like that software. They're putting an anti-cheat thing into the console, into software to cancel them bitches out. Xbox tried to ban hardware to try to stop them, but I don't know if it's actually working. Because it's kind of hard to ban cheat software. I mean, cheat hardware without banning a lot of other hardware. You said they can't really ban a mouse and keyboard though, can they? Yeah, they can't. They can't. That's why some games allow you to play mouse and keyboard. Xbox wanted that on the console because like there's console gamers that use mouse and keyboard. But then there's a lot of games that penalize you for using mouse and keyboard on a console. They do that on purpose. It's kind of crazy. They do that shit on purpose. But hold on, let's finish this video though. Let's finish this video though.
Just trying to get in on it. Not every game is capable of being a successful live service game. You seen that with freaking Halo Infinite. Halo, a game that was never live service before. These suckers tried to make it a live service. It is nowhere near. And I still play Halo Infinite sometimes, but Halo Infinite is nowhere near close to the prime days of Halo. Some
Facts.
games can get away with doing live service, and some games can do it successfully and really good. I mean, again, you freaking look at GTA. I mean, would that be considered a live service? I mean, they have been making
GTA Online?
this joke for over a decade, but some games are successful at doing it. Some are, but that doesn't mean every multiplayer experience has to be live service. You can still have devs out here. Trust me when I say this to you. You can still have a successful multiplayer game and it not be built around being live service.
Wait, you said the Yakuza game has characters that actually talk in English? Yeah, there's a lot of Yakuza games that got dubs. They got Yakuza games that got dubs. Not all of them though, because the beginning ones were only popular in Japan, so they only have the subtitle versions. But like the newer ones, Sega's been getting more of those dubbed over. So like a Dragon, Like a Dragon is the ones that got dubbed because those are the ones with like Ichiban in it, and he's like more of a comedic character, and they play kind of like an RPG. It's not like a standard Yakuza game, and I think the newest Yakuza mainline game, the man who erased his name, I think he has an English dub as well. You said you didn't know that, not gonna lie. Yeah, they just it's recent though. So like if you played the old Yakuza games and they all were in Japanese, then like the newer ones are the only ones that's like kind of in English.
Trust me when I tell you this. I know this for a fact because we've seen it done before. All of the prime multiplayer days of us playing, freaking Call of Duty or Halo or Gears of War or SOCOM. Did we have live service back then? I know times have changed. Trust me, I know, but
I mean, they were live service though. Like most online games, they weren't live service in the name of like battle pass. Everything's monetized, but they were online live service games. They got frequent updates. They got updates. They got new map packs added in. They got new DLC added in. But we didn't think of it like that until they started having these games like Fortnite, like the battle royale genre of game come out, and all they could do was monetize everything outside of combat. And then everybody else wanted to monetize everything outside of their gameplay. And that's kind of how they got everything fucked up. Because Call of Duty, you bought map packs. You said those Yakuza games any good? It depends on what type of game you like because they're like brawling games. Like a Dragon is an RPG game, so like you have like turn-based combat, but you're like in a street. So you have all these street fights with like turn-based combat. They got like crazy powers. Like those games are comedic and fun. The other Yakuza games are like brawling games. You run around, you beat the fuck out of like 300 niggas. One man, you one man army, 300 niggas in a building. You beat the fuck out of him with a bike, with a chair, with a table. He has like fighting styles he like transform into. So Yakuza is hella fun. It's just if you like those types of games or not. Like you have to play it to really like understand. And they're all in Game Pass. Well, they were all in Game Pass. I don't know if they're leaving. They're slowly like trickling out. But yeah, they were all in Game Pass at one point, and them bitches are fun. Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's like Shinmu. Shinmu was so good.
those were incredible multiplayer experiences that we can't get no more today. So don't tell me you can't have a good multiplayer not based around live service. It just pains me to see the potential that this mode has, and literally this junk being laid on a silver platter for you stupid bastards. And somehow, some way, you fumbled, and this is all we get from this junk. I don't care about your freaking future projects you're doing.
That nigga laugh is
This
crazy.
junk is just insane, bro. All suckers wanted from factions was literally what you did in. I feel like I can speak for most people. I don't want to hear from you suckers that did it. Because I be seeing so many people that didn't really play factions one in
He said,
last
"Bro,
one
it's
like
so
that.
tight." I mean,
Why
yeah.
have a voice in this conversation when we're talking about why factions 2 is so needed? If you didn't really play factions one like that, shut the hell up. Why are you talking? No disrespect. But like, I'm speaking for people that actually played factions one. Most people that were a fan of factions, all they wanted from factions was literally just take what you did in Last of Us 1, but put it in Last of Us 2 with Last of Us 2 gameplay and expand on what was already a really shockingly good multiplayer. That's all people wanted.
That's
And
all
that
people
is
ask
what
for.
you literally see in, different aspects while playing no return mode. It is infuriating because the junk is actually good. Like I'm having fun with the mode while at the same time being pissed off because it's like, how? Like how do you ruin this? How? Okay. Now for sure, I am done talking about factions. I'm done talking about not because I think I did say I ain't never talking about factions. I think I did say on that late last year after it got canceled that I ain't talking about factions no more. But I'm sorry, this freaking mode just came out and it's like, oh my god, these idiots, bro. If someone at Naughty Dog sees this,
He said gifted a
I
curse.
don't know what you suckers is working on.
That is kind of fact.
If at the very least you can update this mode, because this mode is actually very good and it gives the game replayability. People are liking this mode. If you update this mode with good stuff, I ain't even saying you have to do co-op. But, you know, if you just update the mode with good stuff and are just always putting in new, fresh things to keep it fresh, I'm telling you, you could even kind of charge for this mode. Like, once it actually really starts to catch on, bro, I feel like people are starting to forget. Yes, having good single.
You say you need a better TV?
I still personally prefer. I'm starting to get to the point where, I mean, I'm still a single player guy. I feel alike, but I think people are starting to forget how important it is sometimes to have a good multiplayer attached sometimes with the single player game, because it keeps people on the game. And yeah,
I mean, that's the definition of live service.
I don't want to go off on a
games as a service because they want to keep people on the game.
Mode. Y'all let me know y'all thoughts of the mode. Are you having the same thoughts and frustrations that I am having while playing this mode? Just seeing the factions influence literally just all through. I mean, literally having modes stripped from factions 1.
That is kind of fucked up though. That they literally made factions with no multiplayer and gave it to them. And it's like, this is what we asked for, but multiplayer.
Like,
I know you got to be a fan. That's kind of fucked up.
Damn, like you're kind of showing me factions while not giving me factions. I ain't got nothing else to say, but the mode is good. Now, will I tell people to go out and buy this game again just for this mode? Absolutely not. Will I tell people to, you know, get that upgrade for $10 to play this mode? If you want,
maybe, yeah. If you think about it,
I feel like this remaster outside of this mode ain't really all that much. The lost levels was really disappointing to me. I mean, yeah, it gives you like a behind the scenes of like these levels that they were working on, but I thought it was going to be like actual like kind of finished levels that, you know, were just stripped from the game for whatever reason. Those modes have like no gameplay in it. It's just like freaking commentary behind the scenes, like ideas they had. So that mode ain't really all that special.
It's just a fucking art book that they talk over.
The Last was 2 story again, or playing the freaking guitar. I mean that's really all that else is in this remaster. So is this mode worth the upgrade for $10 if you really liked Last of Us 2 gameplay like that? Because again, you can say whatever you want about Last of Us 2 as a game and a story. The gameplay is second to none. Last of Us 2's gameplay is fantastic. I don't care what nobody say. I will die on this hill. That gameplay in Last of Us 2 is freaking biblical.
But like, compared to what other game? Like, what other third-person shooting game?
That's all I have.
Or you comparing The Last of Us 2 to say it's second to none? Because not that many other third-person action games play like The Last of Us. But yeah, okay. I kind of understand what he means though. Cuz I could just imagine playing a game that I know, like if I played the game before and I'm like, it got this in it. And then they make another one and it doesn't have that in it. And then they add something like it in it. I understand, bro. I definitely understand. And I swear, as a fan of a game, I'd be pissed. But see, when I end it, like after watching that video, it got me thinking. Cause remember, they said they had the mode coming. when the game first launched that they had the mode coming. And then all of a sudden they backtracked and said, we're going to make a different thing that is bigger. But then they released that mode and it's exactly stripped from The Last of Us 1 as factions. I'm like, that was the original mode they were going to make for The Last of Us Part 2. I think that's original code. I don't think they just made that. I think that's originally what they had in mind. And Sony was like, how are you going to monetize this? And they're like, we don't fucking know. And they was like, well, we're going to do something different. I high key think that was the mode that was supposed to launch as DLC for The Last of Us Part 2 the first time. And then when they fucked up with factions, Sony's like, okay, remaster the game and release the mode. And that's exactly what the fuck they did. Original code slapped back into the game. I'm like, that looks like that's exactly what was supposed to be in the game originally. And then they were gonna put multiplayer in it after. I high key think some intuition in my gamer brain is telling me that that was original code, bro. That was already gonna be in that game. They didn't just make that shit up and put it in there. That wasn't just a second, like a last minute, oh, let's slap this in there for the remake. I mean, for the remaster. No. I got a feeling that was stripped out of the game and Sony sold that bitch for $70. And said they were going to put that in there as DLC. And never did. That's what I'm thinking. Because I know you play games where like you're playing through the game and then a DLC comes out and is exactly the content that was kind of you felt was missing from the game, like a piece of the story that didn't add up, and all of a sudden the DLC just like cleans it up. That's exactly what the fuck that feels like. That feels like BioWare in Dragon Age 2. When the fucking Corypheus DLC. When Wahawk's dad was so important. Like there was a piece of the story missing. You knew it was. And then that DLC comes out. And you're like, okay, it makes fucking sense why this nigga's dad was so important. Why this nigga Hawk is so important. Because you didn't get that at first. You said Like a Dragon low-key hidden for real, for real. Bro, Like a Dragon is so fun. And it's one of those games like you play turn-based like games. And Like a Dragon just puts that in a street fight. And it's so good, bro. It's like how the Stick of Truth for South Park did turn-based fighting games. How they had their own unique spin on like the class system, like the thief, the fucking warrior, the cleric, and they made a really fucking good game. See, Obsidian don't get enough credit, bro. Obsidian does not get enough credit for the versatility of games that they made. I'm here to give them that fucking credit. But yeah, after that video, I completely understand what he feels. And he was like, should you go out and buy this bitch for $70? Fuck no. And I'm like, I respect you, bro. But as you can see, he was definitely a Sony fan. He's definitely a PlayStation fan through and through. He's even holding the controller on his shirt. And he's like, don't buy this shit. It's not worth the money. But if you real deal like the game, like way more than a normal person, maybe get the $10 upgrade. And that's respectable. That's hella respectable. But I mean, we've been in this stream for 2 hours. We're an hour 50 minutes. So we kinda gotta end it right here. That was a good video to end it off. We could probably do that more in Gaming News Weekly. Like watch some videos, react to some stuff. But yeah, we about to end this stream. So hey, thank everybody for coming out. Cool Breeze, Ace, everybody that's watching, make sure that like button. Subscribe if you haven't already. I got plenty more content coming. I do wanna play more Baldur's Gate. I don't know. I kind of want to live stream more, but I never have the time, especially when I have work. So I can live stream when I'm off work, but then sometimes I work hella. So it'd be like that sometimes. But yeah, I'll see y'all in the next one. You said, "Then you missed a show." Yeah, Doc. I started at 1 p.m. It's almost 3 o'clock. But it's all good, bro. Hey, catch me in the next one. Catch me in the next one, cause you know it's gonna be another one. We gotta do it. But yeah, I'm gonna be out.